Welcome to Crafts from the Heart. Today we have with us my grandma, Linda Lambert. She's going to be showing us how to make some reversible bowl cozies.
Hello, I'm Linda Lambert, Savannah's grandmother, and I'm going to show you how to make a bowl cozy. A reversible bowl cozy. You can turn it inside out, have two different colors. Just that simple. It's a great gift. I give them a lot of gifts to people. Just give them two for a set, make two, and give it to them for a set. Fits this kind of bowl, this size. Fits down in there very neatly. You can put a hot bowl in it from the microwave and hold it in your hand. Eat your leftovers. Or if you would rather use ice cream at night, you can do cold ice cream in it. Put it in there and sit in the living room and eat cold ice cream and your hands don't freeze. I love to give them for gifts. I have sometime made a pot of soup for a sick person and brought them the soup and the two bowl cozies so they would have them to use when they ate their soup. But it makes a wonderful little gift. Fast, inexpensive to do, it's easy, and it's something made from the heart. For the materials you would need, we're going to cut you a 10 by 10 inch piece of paper. You can do, this is actually just a folder. You can use cardboard, you could use a piece of plastic, whatever you have, but a 10 by 10 inch. You're going to need a ruler. I use a magic marker. You can use any kind of marker to mark with. Scissors. And you want to cut 2 squares of material. And you can have the same colors or you can have different colors, so you can reverse it. Some people like them both the same, some people like different. But today we're going to use lavender and a lavender print. Then you're going to use 2 pieces of batting, quilt batting. Some people use all cotton. I like to use the quilt batting because it makes it fluffier. And if you sew very much, you probably got some scraps of quilt batting laying around that you wouldn't have to go and buy. Yeah, I save every piece because I can always use it. Straight pins, ironing board, and iron. And that's all the supplies you're going to need. Okay, we have our piece of batting and our piece of material. Put it right side out with your material. And we're going to just sew straight from one corner to the other. Always back stitch, top, front and beginning, ending and beginning. And go to your other corner, do exactly the same thing again. You're going to do the same thing with this piece, corner to corner. Okay, now we're going to measure where we want our darts in the side. So you want to fold it exactly in half. I take a ruler, go in, pull up, and lay it on the top side. I mark 2 inches on my ruler, so I've got 2 inches. Mark right there, 2 inches. Out here's your 1 inch. Always do your 2 inches now on the inside. And I go there, and then I just put me a little dot, just like it's a seam line, and pin it. Turn it over, do the same thing on this side. Mark 2 inches in. 1 inch on the side. And 1 pin. Do exactly the same thing on the other 2 sides. Make sure you're going evenly in. You got 2 inches there, 1 inch out here. Put me a couple of dots so I know where my line's going to be. same thing with this piece. Bring it in half. Two inches inside and an inch on the out. Couple little marks. You do not have to be exact. Most seamsters want it exact, but if you off a little bit, don't worry about it. It will work out. Sticking your ruler in just ensures that you're pushing your material up even with your batting. Okay, so your two pieces look just alike. You got all four darts sewn. You ready to sew? Okay, for sewing your darts, start on the outside there. Always back lock it. Go down to your corner point and back stitch it again. I cut these as I go. You don't have to. You can wait. You're all finished, but you're going to cut. Just come back and cut it to like 1/4 of an inch off, right down the line. I generally do them as I go, one at a time, but you can wait and do them all at one time. Always remember the back stitch. Come back. You're 1/4 of an inch off of your seam. We've done 3, we got one more. Trim. Okay, we've got all 4 done on that. So it's beginning to look like a bowl cozy already. And we're going to repeat and do the other piece just exactly the same way. Okay, after you've sewed your 4 darts on each side and clipped them, they should both look like that. You want to turn one for your outside your material is on the outside, set it down in the other. Have your inside there, set it down inside that one. And you want to take your corners and pin them. Just corner and pin. Pin all 4 of your pointy corners together. Alright, then we're going to pull it down to the inside where you got your 2 seams. Put a pin there. Turn one seam one way and one the other, and it'll sew a little smoother. Like that. All you need is 1 pin in the bottom, 1 pin on the top. Okay, you're going to go around 1/4 of an inch around the top on the outside here. You can start. You're gonna need an opening. Leave an opening. If you like to put 2 pins there, I mark mine. I just put a mark there. Put a mark right there, and then I know not to sew there. You got to have a small opening to turn it. But you're gonna go all the way around it 1/4 of an inch. I'm going to stop it right there at the seam. So I'm going to reverse stitch. Clip my threads. Okay, now you want to trim your corners so they'll lay even. Just take your scissors and cut some of the thickness away from your corners. That makes them flip easy. They don't have to be exact. Just don't cut your thread. It don't have to be exact. Just trim your corners. Okay, and you're going to be thinking that's an awful small area to turn that, but it will all come through that one hole. Stick your finger in the hole, go all the way over to your other corner. Get your finger, push it back through, push it all the way back through. And there's your first corner out. Then you're just going to feed it in with your finger. Just feed it in and pull. Just go right on through the hole, every bit of it. Right on through the hole, and now you're outside. Keep your finger in the hole, go back in, push all your corners out even. Try that one, and get another one. And then the first one there's going to be a little one where you left your gap, remember? Right there's your hole. That's where you want to make sure you don't miss any of that when you're stitching it back together. Okay? Now take your pins. Make sure all your points are out. You don't want one not having a good point. Okay, just continue to roll out your seams. Make sure you got your seams rolled out where there's no bundle in there. And I pin the top corners, and I pin one each on the side of when you're going downward. That makes it lay straight. When you get back to where your little slit was, you'll have to turn it. Make sure that you've got all that turned in good. Put a pin at the bottom. And I pin mine about halfway. And then another one, just to make sure you don't miss any of that when you're going back around it, because that's the only part that's not been sewn already. Okay, now we're ready to press. You're going to press it down good and go around it. Okay, we've got all of our corners pulled out. Everything's all straight and pinned. Now we're going to press. You just want to go in and press each point like that. Got that one. Pull it. Got that. Yarn's going to go right inside it. Just press your corners. Makes a lot nicer finish. You're just pressing right on up into the corners. See the difference now? Now we're ready to sew around it. Okay, we're pressed. We're back through the machine and ready to sew. We're going to go around about 1/4 inch around, down, seam all the way around. Don't matter where you start. It don't matter which side you sew from. If you'd rather sew from this side or that side. Just pull your pin where you're going to start and sew. This is where we had the 3 pins, because this is where our turning seam is at. Almost back where we started, so you want to clip your threads there where you started at. Always lock stitch it, back stitch it. Clip your threads. And there's your bowl cozy. One little last thing that I do, some do, some don't, but as you can see, when you wash it in a machine, sometimes it can separate. So I take my darts, push them way down in, a needle and thread, just a hand sewing needle. Go down in that dart there. You're going to come out the dart there. Just put your two darts together, and all you do is just make a little tack. Just make your little tack there, that dart, and that way it's not going to separate when you put it in the washing machine. Makes your bowl cozy stand up a little better. Just do that on all 4 darts, and your bowl cozy's done. Okay, you've got the finished bowl cozy. Repeat what we did, all the steps. You've got 2 as a set. Most everybody wants to give 2 when you give them. And they look beautiful with your bowls in them. Then it's finished. I enjoy visiting Fort Meade, and I thank the Fort Meade Library for letting me to do this. Thank you.